I guess I had a pretty normal upbringing. Lived with my parents and my brother, and great, amazing parents and great brother, and everything was awesome. My name's Tim Cohen, and I'm a person in long-term recovery. I think for me is when I turned 14, that's when things started going downhill for me. I had gotten drunk for the first time, and then that's when it just, oh, well, this is awesome, man. This takes away all the pain. Makes me feel I'm not shy anymore. I'm outgoing, this is awesome. All throughout high school, I drank. I did almost every known drug out there that you could possibly think of, but I was all about experimenting, having fun, and I think deep down it was, I felt cool when I was doing it, and I felt like people were like, oh, this dude's cool, so it was like, to be accepted and whatnot. But when I turned 21, I had met, she would become my future wife, the mother of my children, and that's when things really picked up, because the addict mentality was still there. I still showed traits of that. I still was thinking that way, but being around her, she was an addict also, and it started off us going and buying Percocet like once every couple weeks, and then eventually went to every other weekend and every weekend, and then we had gotten into a car accident, and she had gotten prescribed Percocet, and that's when it took off from there. And then all of a sudden, here comes heroin, and you can get just as high, but for a fraction of the cost. And that's when we started doing heroin, and I don't think we snorted it for very long before I started shooting it up. And then I found myself turning into this person that I would have never thought I would be in a million years, That went on for a year, a couple years or so, and then I tried to get clean and sober, and I ended up joining the Army. So while I was in the Army, I didn't do anything, obviously, through basic and whatnot. But then as soon as I got home, back to Columbus and everything, just picked up right where I left off. It wasn't too much longer. I think about 6-7 months later, after we had started using again, that's when I caught my first case for breaking into a house. And I ended up going to jail, withdrawing in jail, which is not fun, by the way. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I got put on probation, and eventually, because I kept dropping dirty for probation, they put me back in jail for 3 months. I think in total, not in one sitting, but stretched out, I did at least 11 months of jail time. My wife Nikki and I had gotten a separation and then a divorce, and I had started dating this other woman. But while I was dating this other woman, I came to find out that Nikki had OD'd and passed away. Which you would think, in a normal person's perspective, that would make you sit there and think, I probably shouldn't use no more because the woman I love just died from this crap. But it did the complete opposite. I went even crazier. I went even harder. I don't know if it was to like mask any pain or to, I just didn't want to feel anything. Like, it's not like, I try to look back at it that, my life actually wasn't that horrible, but I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that affected me, like I didn't know how to cope with things. I still don't know how to approach and talk to people. I don't know how to do different things. And I always felt like anytime I'm around a group of guys, I always felt, I'm a child compared to these men. Like, I'm always putting myself down on these things, and I think that was a big contributor to the continuous use, because they say the drugs aren't the issue, we're the issue. The way we think, the way we approach things, that's what keeps us going. And I've been in and out of rehabs a bunch too. I think I've been to like 4 or 5 different rehabs. But the problem was every time I went to rehab, I'd always sit there and think, well, I'm not going to use heroin no more. But I should be okay if I can do a Perk 30 every now and then. That's not going to be an issue. I can keep control of that. But it's always an issue. Like when you sit there and think and have reservations, it doesn't matter the substance you're using the substance, and that's what's going to pull you down. Because eventually, quick, fast, in a hurry, you know, you're going to be right back to where you were. And it always started off with Perk 30s, and the next thing I know, I'm banging heroin again. And this last time, the amount I was using, I stopped using tar heroin and eventually started using China White, but really that was just fentanyl. What I was using, there were people overdosing on $20 worth of fentanyl, and here I am doing $60, $70, $80 shots each time. And then like 2-3 hours later, doing another $60, $70, $80 shot. Like by all accounts, I should be dead. Like there's not a doubt in my mind. To be honest with you, like I really didn't care though. There's a part of me that I wanted it to be over. Like I had tried to commit suicide before. The idea of passing away wasn't scary to me. I didn't care. Like here I am feeling like I'm dying every day anyways. I'm causing pain and hurt and misery to everyone I love and care about. So I ended up isolating myself just away from everybody because I'm destroying people's lives. So, but at the end there, I was homeless. I was living in an abandoned, and I ended up calling David. And I remember I was on the phone with you, and I just started crying. Like I couldn't handle it no more. Like it was time. And you ended up finding me this place in Amish country of all places. It's called Operation 612, which was a good program. It was a faith-based program. And June 8th at 11:50 at night was the last time I used. And then June 9th at 7 o'clock in the morning, you came and picked me up, sick as a dog, driving me out to Operation 612, listening to Rick Ross, which was cool. Like I needed that, and yeah, I truly believe it was God's intervention. You know, having brought you back into my life after knowing you since I was 8 years old. You know, like I would definitely be dead if it wasn't for you, man. Like you. You saved my life, man, and you saved my kid's life, and you saved my family, bro, and I will be eternally grateful for that, for real, man. Because now, June 9th will be a year. For the first time, I got my own place. I got a good job. I got my friends and my family back. People trust me again. It's good, man, it's good. And I will be forever grateful to you about that. I mean, every day is still a struggle. Every day, you know, Satan gets in your head, especially in your darkest moments, calling you back to that life, calling you back to, oh, you know, it'd be so much easier if you just go out and use. It'll be, every day it's a struggle, it's a fight, but, you know, you surround yourself with people you love, and you surround yourself with people that you feel like you can talk to and you can open up to, and that makes all the difference. My name is Tim Cohen, and we do recover.